Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Games and Things. If you want to make your home the envy of everyone in your neighborhood, visit Games and Things. They're guaranteed to make yours the most fun and envied home on your block. Donde Plowman and Danny White are spoiling for a fight. They say UT has done nothing wrong. It's rare to see a school take such a brash adversarial approach. Fans love it, of course. No one likes the NCAA. I think I think fans of other schools want to see the NCAA taken down. I wonder if other schools, though, they've been the ones complaining about what Tennessee and other schools were doing. That's why it came back to Tennessee. So I don't know what they're thinking behind closed doors. I noticed no other schools have jumped in on this yet. You did have the state of Virginia get involved in the antitrust suit. I'm told that has something to do with James Madison having some NCAA issues over there. But here's my question. You've got Tennessee spoiling for this fight. Normally I would say, look, and I know they've been advised that if you lose this, it is lights out for your program. It is, I'm not saying death penalty, but you're going to get hammered. They can take tons of scholarships, lose coaches. I think some of these people get fired if they don't win this case, if that's the gamble. So in big picture, it's a gamble. In reality, is it? Existentially, you could say, well, this is a gamble, it could backfire. Yeah, Marcia Clark and Chris Darden would tell you sometimes these things can backfire. But is it really? Is the NCAA so toothless? Don't we know Tennessee's going to win this?
I think that's why Tennessee has been so brazen. I think that's why even the Spire comments in 2022 were made. I think they knew there was nothing the NCAA could do about this because as far as they're concerned, they've done everything by the book. Tennessee's coaches haven't been involved. Tennessee's administration hasn't been involved in any of these deals. Spire's written everything up where the University of Tennessee is not mentioned in their mission statement, basically. So even
though their website has a link to the
volunteer club. But Spire's tried to keep its distance. So
they all do. They're smart about it.
So they've handled all of this smart, and they're basically going to go to court and say, this is a business making an NIL deal, which is legal in all these states. How can you stop this? And they know they're going to win, so why not be brazen?
Chuck, in theory, Tennessee could get clobbered. In reality, can they be?
Here, I think in theory, you felt like you were going to get clobbered if you didn't take them on. Yeah. That the way things were going, it was going to be pretty bad. Yeah. And it might be just as bad in a way if you did lose this. So it's time, like I said, it's time to draw a line in the sand and say, look, you're picking on us. There's the antitrust violations, the Supreme Court 9-0 ruling. It's all these NIL states, too. There's so many moving parts to this. Let's just go ahead and get it out in the open. We're tired of waiting you to throw the big haymaker. We're going to throw some punches first.
This is Fulmer's pregame speech before Florida State. Draw that line in the sand. All right.
I think the one thing that's really interesting about this case, if we want to get back to the facts of the case, is that So in the initial guidance, right, it says that the schools and the collectives can't, there's a separation of church and state there. There's a wall up. You can't have that. So Inspire does all this stuff, but then the NCAA is saying the school should be accountable for what the collective is doing. That doesn't really make sense. You can't talk to them, but you got to make sure that they're compliant with these NIL guidelines.
And they've got to change that.
Of an organization that they're not a member of. That doesn't really make sense.
But the other thing, the student athlete is supposed to sign or make a commitment to a school before you even discuss NIL. Where all does that happen?
Well, that's the Attorney General's case.
Right. I mean, come on.
Again, the trick is look over here. Don't look here. Look over here. You can't block kids from making money. Don't necessarily get into whether or not we violated the spirit of your guidelines. Look at this. I think that's right. And I don't know that they did. See, that's just it. I don't think they're guilty. They're guilty-ish.
Spirit of the law versus letter of the law is what we're really talking about.
Yeah, and what judge do you get that's going to decide whether it's spirit of the law or, do you get Barney Fife or do you get Andy Griffith who's going to say, well, it's all right.
Man, here at the rock.
When we come back, I'm going to give you a 60-second view of what life is like as a Vol fan. In 60 seconds, I can sum up the Vol fan experience for you. You'll see that on the other side, and then we'll tell you what's the outcome and fallout of this whole case. Come on back on the Sports Source.